Hi there, it's Simone, and I wanted to take you along planning for the first time in my Hobonichi Cousin. I am showing you the decals that I made. I have had a cutting machine for since forever, and I finally purchased some holo foil to try and make my own. And I don't really know where to start, so I'm showing you what I have already made. I added a pocket to the front cover and then a postcard. This is what June looked like, and this is how far I have decorated the July monthly. You can see the weekly right there. I will get back to that one later because that's where I'm actually going to plan in. But I decided to start working on the monthly spread for July because I already knew some tasks that I wanted to add to that monthly to-do list. And I have decided to use the Hobonichi Cousin in a very similar way, or start using it in a very similar way as I had been using the now I don't remember the name, the Jibun Techo that I used all through 2019. um, it had a monthly view, very similar or just like this one. It had a weekly view like the Hobonichi Cousin. The only thing that it didn't have was the daily pages. And it had some other features that the Hobonichi Cousin doesn't have, but I realized throughout 2019 that I did not need those specifically. So I'm not necessarily fixed or focused on the Jibun Techo. So what I usually did in 2019 on the monthly spreads, I would have there is usually a column on the left side with open space, and I would add my next actions list right there so that things that I needed to get to throughout the month or wanted to get to throughout the month. And I will pick points or tasks from that list and move them to my weekly task list. I decided to just start using it in a very similar way because it was quite successful in 2019. And in order not to make myself to overwhelm myself with a new planner and a new planner system, why not do things the way that they have worked and that are familiar? And when I'm working with this more often, more frequently, when I am more experienced, I can still tweak and adjust whatever works or doesn't work. So in order to fill out my weekly spread, what I needed to do first was do a weekly review. And I have been working very much in the last week, 1.5 weeks, and I am going to work a lot in the next 2 weeks. So I have been using my planner for the bare minimum. I am so tired all the time, and I'd rather spend my time sitting on the couch with a kitten on my lap than like working in my planner. It's not necessary. Last week, as I said, I added the checkbox flags that I received from Coco Daisy a long time ago. They are, I think, 4 items. Sometimes I didn't even have 4 items that I needed to do because I didn't even have the energy. And so my focus on the next 2 weeks is survival. And as you can see, I am using these sticky tabs to highlight everything that I didn't do last week. And that's a lot. So what I decided to do was not put too many other things onto my list for this week that has started today because as I said, I can do the bare minimum. And I am actually moving. So this is the ideas list for June. I am moving some of the tasks on there so that when I do my monthly review, I can put them on my ideas goals list or put them in on another list that I might get to later, but not onto the next week because it's just too overwhelming right now. But it's one of those things that I don't want to forget. So I want to have these things on a list. While I'm working on that list and transferring all the things I want to do, I actually used watercolor to highlight the time that I would be working. Last year in my Jibun Techo, I used my pen and drew boxes, and then I used a mild liner to highlight those boxes so that they would be visible. But since I really, really love using watercolor and the Tomoe River paper, I love using watercolor on the Tomoe River paper. I thought, why not just try this? And I had already put the washi tape down. This is a Grin and Bear It washi tape that is where the wild things are themed. And so I based the color scheme on that washi tape. There's a little bit of yellow, so I put a yellow almost highlighter washi tape onto the left side, and then I decided I would just use a very light yellow to add my work hours, my work schedule, and I really like it. I hope I have enough time to do this every week. If not, it's totally fine. Any way I can mark my work hours is totally fine. But this really looks cool. I really, really enjoy and like it. And then I went and got a mild liner. This is the yellow one. And then I wrote right after it wasn't dry yet. And I use a Uni Jet Stream. It smeared. It looked so I didn't like it. So I have purchased this kit. I don't know when it was available. I have saved it for a long time, and it was in my July stickers. And so I decided I was just going to use it the first week of July because why save it even longer? And that's where the box sticker is from as well. I covered up the month. It's not something that I use. I don't need it. I don't need to cover it, but I really liked the color, especially the color of the box. I thought it would go there nicely. It would balance out the spread. As you might notice, I'm a very visual person. So it's just something, if I look at this and I like the way it looks, I'm more likely to actually use it. I have a waffle flower stamp set that has most of the social media icons on it. And I stamped the Instagram icon several times onto sticker labels. It's not even it's sticky paper, but it's actually labels. And I have 1,000 because I purchased the labels at Costco. And so I just stamp the icon and then I cut it out and put it on there. And so what I usually do every week, I have a to-do list, which is on the left side again. Then I have a meal plan and I put that at the bottom of the weekly spread, right there where I highlighted the line in yellow. And then I decided that I would put Instagram ideas, photos that I might want to post on Instagram on the top. There is hours marked on the side, and in contrast to the Jibun Techo, where it starts at 0, like midnight, and then goes to midnight. So you have, and also the hours are differently spread out. So sometimes they have one box, and sometimes they have two lines, or one line, and sometimes they have two lines. Here, I didn't even check, and I didn't bring my planner with me. I didn't check if they were differently spaced, like have several different lines. But what is interesting is the hours do not start at midnight, they start at 5 a.m. in the morning. And then they go all the way up to 5 a.m. the next day, which then leaves me enough space at the bottom to put my meal plan down there, because I usually don't do anything before 5. Well, which is not true. When my Starbucks usually has regular hours, which we don't have due to COVID-19, I start working at 4:30. Now I start working at 5, so it works out nice. Yeah, and then I used my pen. I am still using the Uni Jetstream. I might use a fountain pen. I have chosen one that I want to try and use in it, but I decided to not take any chances and start with the things that I like. I know I love the Uni Jetstream, so that is what I use for the beginning of my planning. And then once I figured my way, and once I know how I want to do this, then I can start playing with different pens. So I added my work hours, and then I added the one appointment that we have on Thursday. And then I am not using a pen, I am using a mechanical pencil to write in the meals that I have planned. And meal planning is something that I dread. I don't know why. It just stresses me. It has been stressing me for years. But I have started to meal plan on Wednesdays for the next week. And that has taken a lot of stress out of that, because I know that I have 3 more or even 4 more days until I need to come up with something new. I have 4 more days of meals already planned, already purchased. No, well, not purchased, but I usually go shopping on Wednesdays. But I don't have to come up with something for that night, because I already know what I'm going to have. And that is, so for some reason, that helps me with the stress, which is amazing, because yeah. So I'm showing you this. This is the monthly page that comes before the first of each month. Every month, before the daily pages, there is one blank page. And I have decided to add my YouTube schedule on there. I usually add the videos that I put there in a monthly overview, and I just printed that on Tomoe River paper and then stuck it in there, and then there's still enough space for a YouTube workflow. It's basically just a table with different activities that I need to go through for every video before it is actually ready to be scheduled. I make a title page or a title image. So I have to take photos for that. I have to make the image. I am always rewatching my videos. I edit them, so to speak. Sometimes I have to voice them over. Then I need to upload them to YouTube. I need to add a description. I need to schedule them. So that's the steps from filming up to being able to actually publish it. And so that's what is in each of the columns that I created. And now, once I film a video, I add it to this list, and then I can see how far along in the video processing I am to be actually able to have something available for you. And then I also wrote down all the videos that I want to make that are going to be that I intend to film in June. Um, just as a reminder that I actually need to film them. And if that works out well, then this is probably what I'm going to use the monthly page before the daily pages. Yeah, so I think I'm almost done with this. I didn't really know what else to do. On Saturday, I sat down with my husband. We realized that we are at a point where we need to dream or have it dream. Sounds strange. Like, what are we going to do when we're 50? So we sat down and made a 10-year plan. Where are we in 10 years on Saturday? And so I added that in between the weekly pages and the start of the daily pages. There's 2 pages that are empty, and it says like something like turning the page to something new. Yeah, and then I'm like, what else could I do? Didn't really know what else I wanted to do. So I just took the washi tape that I had added there last year when I used the cover for my MD notebook, and I just cut out the glasses and was trying to figure out where I could add them to the weekly spread. After I stopped filming the video, I also started using the daily pages, even though it's not July yet. There's still one more day left. I decided I was going to. So usually in my planner, I have a list that is called ideas. Things that come to my mind that I think, oh, I have to do this. Maybe a cleaning task, maybe just, or some creative idea, some place I want to go. I want to go on a hike. I want to spend a day at the beach. I add this to my ideas list. And then at the end of the month, I go through this list and decide what, when, what, where this is going to happen. Is this something that I will actually follow through with this? Was this just a strange idea? And so I add this to this list, and I created that list on the first day. And then I also added another tracker for the daily drawing that I want to start on July 1st. But I guess I will show that to you next time when I share my planner. I hope to see you soon. Until then, bye.